Well, it's time to talk business. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, has refuted claims that the rate of value-added tax has been adjusted to 10% from 7.5%. The minister, in a statement he personally signed, affirmed that the VAT rate as contained in relevant tax laws and chargeable on goods and services remains 7.5%. He says neither the federal government nor any of its agency will act contrary to what the law stipulates. The minister's statement is coming against the backdrop of reports that the federal government is planning to raise VAT to 10%, thereby compounding the woes of many Nigerians who are grappling with rising prices of food and energy. The finance minister said Nigeria's tax system stands on a tripod, namely tax policy, tax laws, and tax administration, noting that all the three must combine well to give vitality to the fiscal position of the government. He explained that the federal government, as part of efforts to bring relief to Nigerians and businesses, had recently ordered the stoppage of import duty tariffs on taxes on rice, wheat, beans, and other food items. Well, the Securities and Exchange Commission has warned individuals and business entities engaging in activities contrary to laid down regulations in the capital market. The Director General of the Commission, Dr. Emitomi Agama, said this in a statement in Abuja, disclosing that the Commission would deploy the law on such defaulters. The DG said the Commission would soon commence enforcement against individuals and entities operating in the market without the intention of being regulated, noting that SEC is committed to protecting investors, including those in the crypto space, while urging all participants in the market to play by the rules. He said the Commission issued approval in principle to 2 crypto exchanges because he observed that youths were becoming increasingly interested in the digital space, that this was important to provide regulation, clarity, and investors' protection, which were the primary responsibility of SEC. To foster a more inclusive and equitable society, women directors have advocated policies to promote gender equality, as well as robust frameworks to leverage opportunities in emerging technologies. President and board chairman of the Chartered Institute of Board of Directors, Mr. Tijani Borodo, says these technologies hold immense potential to transform industries, create new business models, and improve people's lives. Mr. Borodo said this at the Women's Directors Development Committee of the Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria's conference, which focused on the theme Leading in a Disruptive Age, Opportunities in Emerging Technologies, DEI and ESGs. Guest speaker at the event, Dr. Awele Lumelu, hinted that the foundation had supported more than 8,000 women over own businesses across all 54 African countries, which makes up to 46% of total number of entrepreneurs empowered by the institute across the continent.
Technology, artificial intelligence, it's amazing that we hear the concepts, but how are we applying them? And today is about applying it as a woman, especially on a board. ESG, which is now so important, how are we imbibing it in our businesses, on boards, even in ourselves?
Every board must be sensitive to the selection of the mix of board, and not just in terms of gender diversity, but also background, disabled people, people who have come from diverse and different backgrounds, but more importantly, creating equity for women who are oftentimes not having all of the opportunities to be represented on boards.
There's this bias against women over the years, but what we are seeing in the Chartered of Directors is that, look, women are as good as men on boards, and in fact, even better on boards. So it's a question of this gender parity. We're trying to make everybody understand that we must give women their right place on our boards, on our companies, and the better for us as a company, as a nation.
Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria and other key industry players in the oil and gas sector of the Nigerian economy are calling for a review and adoption of ethanol policies to enable all stakeholders to have guidelines and standards for the production, distribution, and usage of the product. They made this call at the E10 Technical Workshop in collaboration with the U.S. Grains Council. Sunday Binibo was there.
Ethanol is a biofuel that is commonly used as a substitute to petrol in vehicles. It is produced through the fermentation of plant materials like cassava, corn, sugarcane, among others.
Reliable supply of fuel ethanol.
These industry players at these workshops say ethanol blended into biofuel as a transformative energy source has the potential to change Nigerians' drive to a shift to a more efficient and affordable cleaner energy for sustainable economy, while advocating for policies to help drive their advocacy.
By the time Nigeria as a country starts bringing ethanols and vehicles start using ethanols, if the right things are not done, then it will become an issue in terms of the intended use. We've had situations in the past where we have product that came with ethanol and we had issues of damages in vehicle. But if there's a policy in place, everybody knows what to do.
Up till now, there is no ethanol policy in place, and without a policy being in place, as a private sector, you don't really know how to drive your initiative.
They say for a smooth takeoff, investment in infrastructure is crucial for the ethanol industry and could save the nation about $7 billion a year.
Ethanol is a very serious opportunity for Nigeria. We've had challenges implementing it in the past, but because we are all stakeholders present now, we have a better chance of working together to make sure that we have a greater success this time than we ever had last time.
Members of the session here are people that are already producing ethanol from cassava. By the time we have increased investments, we can drive up our productivity, we can prevent our post-harvest losses, and then we have an increased yield of cassava, so more money for the farmers, and that increased yield provides both for food and fuel.
Now we know where the whole world is going, is aligning towards renewable energy sustainability. So we've partnered with US Grains Council. So two of us together are working on this advocacy of ethanol blended fuels. So we are also working now with the NMDPRA. The ACE of the NMDPRA has taken on this role now, this project that we have, this E10 pilot that we're kind of working on to promote E10.
Participants in person and online express optimism about the future of renewable energy in Nigeria, an effort made to enhance participation by all stakeholders to foster the growth of ethanol in the oil and gas industry. Sunday Binibo, TVC News, Lagos.
Asian shares market slipped today as worries about US and Chinese growth weighed on sentiment, though US and European stock futures did manage a bounce, while bond yields came off their lows. Chinese blue chips dropped 1% in 7 months low, having already shared 2.7% last week. Japan's Nikkei bore the brunt of early selling as tech stocks declined, losing another 0.8%. And atop a near 6% slide last week. MSCI's broadest index of Asia Pacific shares outside of Japan slipped 1.2% after shedding 2.25% last week, while South Korea's market fell 0.2%. A steadier note of S&P 500 futures rallied 0.4%. Nasdaq futures, following Friday's slide, Eurostock 50 futures added 0.5%. And wrapping up business news, crude oil prices jumped in Asian trading today as the potential for hurricane system approached the U.S. Gulf Coast as markets recovered from sell-off following weaker than expected U.S. job data. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude sells at $68.57 with an uptick of 1.33%. Brent also experienced an upward price margin of 1.27%, selling at $71.96 per barrel. Bonny Light is down 2.84%, selling at $78.62. And for the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers are offering $73.68 with an upward price margin of 0.01%. Well, that's business. I'll see you at the top of the hour for business.